All right. Well, welcome, yogis. Thank you all for being here today. My name is Sarah, if I haven't had a chance to meet you. And if you're coming back, welcome back. Today's going to be a 45-minute slow flow. And so slow flow is kind of a nice yoga to do anytime, anywhere. It's great if you're a beginner. It's great if you're someone who practices pretty consistently to refine your practice. But it really gets down into the foundational postures, and we really learn to feel into the feet and really move everything from the ground up. So we build really simple to complex. And today we're actually going to begin on our backs and do a little bit of spine and hip opening as well as the hamstrings before we even get into our flow. So go ahead and bring your feet to your mat with knees bent. Scoot to the top of your mat so you've got enough room to lay back. Grab behind your knees and lower on down to your back. When you arrive, walk your feet mat width distance and knock your knees in to draw to touch. And then reach your arms out to a big Texas T. Wrap your right arm underneath of your left and give yourself a hug. And we're just going to stay here. You can soften or close the eyes. Take a moment to lengthen out through your spine. Feel the heaviness of your hips, shoulders, head, and feet. And see if you could just kind of tap into your breath, noticing your belly lift away from the floor as you inhale. And then pull back to the floor as you exhale. Feel the length in the back of your neck and use this time to just settle in and land here on your mat, separating yourself from whatever you had going before this class and dedicating the next 45 minutes to being here on your mat, moving your body with your breath. Gently release your fingertips and reach your arms to the sky. And then switch it out, bring your left arm underneath of your right and grab opposite shoulders, giving yourself a hug, second side this time. Opening up the shoulders, but staying relaxed through our face and jaw muscles. This week we start to practice this idea of moving from our inner space to outer expression. And so it's a really good time to go back inside and appreciate feelings of love, of joy, of abundance, and whatever it is that you desire. Finding compassion for yourself, especially in our practice. Each and every day we approach the mat a little differently than the last. So honor where your body's at today and don't get so caught up in any expectations or judgments of yourself or anyone else. With that in mind, begin to release your arms, goal post your arms to open up your chest, and start to draw one knee in front of the opposite shin, alternating side to side here. And you can do this slowly, getting a stretch along the top of your hip down to your knee, gently awakening the hips and the lower half of your body. Eventually bring your knees back up, open your eyes if they're not already. Hug your knees into your chest. Let the left foot come back down with the knee bent. And then reach up to grab for either the arch of your foot or your ankle. I'm going to head for the external side of the foot there, the pinky edge side. And then draw the knee out towards your right armpit for a half happy baby. Your heel is stacking over your kneecap. And you can stay here, or option to extend your left leg long on the mat, finding a little bit more expression and depth in the posture. Take a nice big breath in. Stay relaxed through your breath, relaxed in your face and your jaw. And then bend into your left knee, cross the right ankle over the knee for a figure four, looping the hands through the needle, and then threading underneath of your left thigh or even on top of the shin. Invite your right elbow to the right and press your right knee away. Stay flexed through both feet and grounded through your shoulders and the back of your head. Let the left foot come back down to the mat, keeping the legs the same. Release your bind, and then twist your legs over to the left until the right sole of your foot hits the mat. You can take your left hand and press the right knee away. Open your right wing and look over to the right. Figure four, supine twist. Take your gaze back up to the sky. Bring your knees back in and extend your right leg up. Grab behind the thigh, the knee, the calf, or even walk yourself up and lift your head and shoulders to crawl up your leg, finding a nice hamstring stretch. Again, you can lengthen your left leg long here to find a deeper expression, or keep the knee bent as a modification. And breathing in, let the weight of your upper body pull your leg closer. Breathing out as much or as little of a bend in the right knee as you need. And then go ahead and bring the knee back into the chest, lower your head, bring your left knee in, lower the right foot down, and this time head into half happy baby on your left side. So stack your left ankle on top of your kneecap. Reach up to grab either the big toe, the ankle, the inner or outer arches of the feet. And then inviting that left knee toward your left armpit. Let the weight of your left arm pull it down. Option to keep your right knee bent or extend the leg long. Bend your right knee back in if it was lengthened. Cross your left ankle over your right knee for a reclining figure four. Press your left knee away. Thread your hands through the loop here. Grab underneath of the right thigh or on top of the shin, and then invite your left ankle and shin closer to the chest. Press your left knee away with your left elbow. Grounding through the tailbone, the shoulders, and the head. Stay active through your feet. And keeping the legs as is, release your bind. Set the right foot down to the mat. You can heel toe it over to the left if you like a little bit. And then slide over to the right with your legs. Left foot comes down to the earth. Open up your arms to a T, or option to take your right hand and press the knee away. Gaze could also come out to the left. And then coming back through center, one last movement here. Extend your left leg up. Interlace the hands behind the thigh, knee, or calf, or crawl up your leg and grab your heel here. Lifting your head and shoulders, option to stay, or option to extend your right leg long and find a little bit more depth. Nice big hamstring stretch here. Soften the left knee as much or as little as you need. And now hug both knees into your chest, cross your ankles and grab behind your knee pits. Begin to rock and roll forward and back. We're going to rock and roll all the way up and back to downward facing dog. So find enough momentum And then step your feet back in space, feet about hip width distance apart. Your hands are shoulder width distance apart. Soften your knees, but send your tailbone up and back. Try to ground down through all of your fingers, including your thumbs. So spread the fingers really wide here. See if you can take an even bigger bend in the knees and then wrap the triceps down towards the earth. Gaze back to your feet, knees, or thighs. And on an inhale, shift forward out into high plank. Shoulders over wrist, heels over toes. Option to bend the knees and bring them to the floor to modify. And as you exhale, send your hips up and back. Find that downward facing dog once again. This time, bend into your right knee and turn your left toes out. And then take that to the other side. Bend into your left knee, turn your right toes out to the right, and lean into that right side body. Good. Coming back through center on your next inhale, shift forward into high plank and lower your knees down for tabletop position, walking your hands back so that they're underneath of your shoulders. With an inhale, hammock your belly down, take your gaze forward, find cow pose. With an exhale, round through your spine to find cat. 3 more like that. Inhale to open. Exhale to round. Breath in. And breath out. Last one here. And exhale to round. Come back to a neutral tabletop position. Extend your right leg long behind you with the toes flexed and pointing down. Heel in line with the hip. Extend your left arm forward with your thumb pointed up to the sky for a spinal balance. Take an inhale, knit your belly muscles in, and exhale, elbow to knee, tap. Inhale, lengthen. 2 more. Exhale, elbow to knee, press away from the earth. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tap. Inhale, get long through arm and leg. Set your left hand down and cross your right toes over your left shin. Look over your left shoulder back at your heel and stretch that heel to the back wall. A big opening through your right side body. Now bring the right knee back underneath of the hip and let's change sides. Extend your left leg back behind you, toes point down, square your hip to the earth. Right arm stretches forward like you're shaking my hand. Knit your lower ribs in and up, and as you exhale, tap elbow to knee, round the spine. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tap. Inhale, get long through arm and leg. Just the hand comes down. Cross your left foot over your right shin. Land the toes. Look over your right shoulder and look back at your left heel. Stretch the heel all the way back to the corner of your room. And then place the knee back underneath of the hip. Find your tabletop position. Keep your knees right underneath of your hips. And then we're going to move into our puppy pose. Tuck in my shirt here for a moment. And then walking the palms out, bring your forehead to the earth. Puppy pose or Anahata Asana, heart opener, and a shoulder opener. Let your belly pull up and back to protect the low back here. Soften your face, your jaw, soften your breath. Looking forward, slither on through onto your belly. Keep your elbows underneath of your shoulders. Walk them back as you need. And for Sphinx pose, lift your right toes off the mat and leg, and then relayer them back down. Try to press down even to your pinky finger nail. Lift the opposite leg, and then lower down. So energy through the inner thighs. Press away from your forearms and pull your heartstrings forward between your biceps. Lift the crown of the head to the sky. Take an inhale, pull the belly button away from the floor. And as you exhale, lower your forehead down. Bring your hands to slide back so that your wrists are under your elbows. Roll your shoulder heads back and down. Press through the feet and lift all the way up until your arms straighten. Keep your thighs on the mat for today. Soften the elbows. Squeeze your shoulder blades back. And as you exhale, roll over the knees and lift your hips back and up for downward facing dog. Breath in through the nose. And breath out to let it go. Soften your knees, and on an inhale, lift up onto tiptoes. Look forward, bend your knees. Tiptoe your feet all the way up to meet your hands. Lengthen on your breath in, halfway. Pressing away from your legs, soften your knees and bring equal weight into both feet. As you exhale, bend your knees generously and come all the way down to drape your upper body over your legs. Grab a hold of opposite elbows for ragdoll pose. Shifting the weight forward and back, side to side if you like. Finding a little bit of movement or just enjoying stillness here. Straightening and bending the legs a few times. Lower the fingers all the way down to the earth. Straighten your legs, bend into your right knee, placing the right hand in front of the foot or to a block. Bring your left hand to your left hip and look over to the left. Option to stay there or reach the left arm to the sky. Option to then roll out your wrist or take a half bind and bring it around to your opposite hip crease. Straightening out through your left leg, get this big stretch to the IT band all the way down the line of the side of the leg. Changing it out, left hand in front of the left foot, bend into your left knee, right leg is straight. Right hand to your right hip, turn your gaze over to the right, and then option to keep the hand on the hip or reach the arm to the sky. Roll out your wrist or take a half bind. Bring both hands back underneath. Pedal out your knees a little bit. Good. And on your inhale, lift your arms all the way up to the sky. Come to stand. And exhale, hands seal to the heart. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. As you exhale, hinge and forward fold. Take a breath in, lift halfway. As you breathe out, bend your knees, plant your palms, and step your left foot back into a lunge. Stay either high onto fingertips or bring your blocks under your shoulders. Lift up through the back left thigh and come high onto the toes. Take an inhale, plant the palms, and as you exhale, extend your right leg back into three-legged plank. And now lower all the way down to your belly. Untuck both toes. Lift your gaze, lift your chest, find your high cobra. And then exhale, roll over the knees and head back to downward facing dog. Full breath in and full breath out. Feet together at the back of your mat. Use your next inhale to sweep your right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. As you exhale, draw your knee to your nose, step your foot in between your hands. Lower your back knee to the earth and untuck your toes. Stretch your arms to the sky, Anjaneyasana, pressing through the front foot. As you exhale, bring your right hand to your right hip, lift up through your left arm, and then take a side bend over to the right, laterally opening. Make sure you're not coiling down through the shoulder. Instead, keep your left shoulder stacked on top of your right and your core engaged. Circle this top arm back around to frame your front foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Inhale, sweep your right arm to the sky for a simple twist. Squeeze your shoulder blades onto your back body, lean back in space. Scissor hug the right hip back and twist from your waist. Pull the belly in. Slide your right shoulders down your back body and lift up through your back left leg. As you exhale, bring your right hand down. Listen closely. Step your back foot behind your front foot so your ankles are crossing. Soften your front knee so you can move. And now press through your feet, squeeze your shins together, and reach your arms all the way up to the sky. Grab a hold of your right wrist with your left hand. and side bend over to your left. Look over to the right. Inhale, come back through center. Bring both feet together, and as you exhale, hinge and forward fold. Take a breath in, lengthen halfway. As you exhale, step your right foot back, bending the knees, come into your lunge, runner's lunge. Either stay high onto the fingertips or low onto the palms there. You could always bring blocks under your shoulders. High onto the ball mound of the back foot. Make sure you're not drooping through this back leg or knee. When you're ready, plant the palms and extend the left leg back. Three-legged plank. Shift forward and lower all the way down to your belly. Bring your forehead to the mat and walk your hands back by a palm print. Inhale, roll the shoulder heads back and down. Press up into high cobra, straightening the arms. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. Back to downward facing dog. Same left leg is going to lift on your inhale. As you exhale, knee to nose, step the foot in between your hands. Lower the right knee down and untuck the toes. Stretch your arms to the sky, pressing up, low lunge. Bring your left hand to your hip. First, stretch up with the right arm and then over as you find a lateral side bend. Keep your left hip scissor hugging back. Press firmly through the right shin and the top of the foot to maintain your balance. Circle the top arm back down to frame the foot. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. Lift your left arm to the sky, simple twist. So as you're looking up towards the left fingers, lean back in space so you can draw your shoulder blades onto your back body. Scissor hug your left hip back, and then press through the back toes, lift the right thigh to the sky. Send your left hand back down to frame your front foot. Right foot steps behind the left, so you're crossing your ankles. Your front left knee is bending slightly so that you can move and then press all the way to stand. This time, grab a hold of your right wrist with your left hand and side bend up and over, or opposite, left wrist with your right hand and side bend up and over to the right. Option to gaze to the left. And then as you come back up, feet together, forward fold. Take an inhale, lift halfway. As you exhale, I'm going to step my left foot back. You could step your right foot back depending on which way you're turning towards the camera. Turn towards the long edge side of your mat that's facing towards me just so that you can see me here. And then on an inhale, lengthen halfway. As you exhale, bow forward, Prasarita Padottanasana. If your head is touching, scoot your feet in a little bit so your head has somewhere to lengthen to. And then walk your hands back in space. Bring the weight into your toes, shifting the hips forward a couple of inches. On your inhale, bring your hands back under your shoulders. As you exhale, turn your right toes out and bend into your right knee, walking the hands with you. Stay grounded through your left foot, so the full perimeter of the foot stays on the mat, and we're also lifting the inner arch, so you're maintaining dynamic tension through the leg. Inhale, press to center. And exhale, turn those left toes out and side bend to the opposite side. You might turn the right toes forward and make sure you're staying grounded here. Skandasana. Come back through center, turn toes either slightly pigeon-toed or directly forward. And one more time as we come down into our wide-legged forward fold. On your next inhale, lift halfway, hands under shoulders. As you exhale, turn your front toes forward, framing your front foot. Lunge at the top of your mat. Exhale back to high plank. Option to flow here or option to head back to down dog. If you're flowing, we're shifting forward, either lowering the knees or keeping them lifted. Halfway to your hover. Inhale, open to cobra. Exhale, send the hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Shifting forward out into high plank. Turn your heels over to the left, one foot in front of the other. Left hand is down, right arm reaches up to the sky. If we're modifying, we're bringing the left knee down. All of us, no matter which variation you're in, are going to lift the top leg and look forward at the front of your mat. You can help the foot up there, step it up to the top, and if your back knee is down, lift the back knee off the earth. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky for high crescent lunge. Bend into your back knee, tuck your tailbone down, pull the belly in, and then re-lengthen out through the leg. Bring your right hand to your thigh, draw your left elbow across the thigh and make a fist with your hand. Place your right hand on top of the left fist and now rotate your body to the opening of the ceiling to the right here as your right ribs revolve. Prayer twist, keep your back leg nice and strong. Long line of energy from your back heel all the way out through the crown of your head. Look down at your front foot, frame your front foot, and step back to plank. Shift your hips up and back and find downward facing dog. Breath in and breath out. On your inhale, shift forward into high plank. Drop your heels over to the right. Lift your left arm. Option to stay lifted or bring your bottom knee down. Lift your top leg and look forward. Help the foot up, step it up there, and if the back knee is lowered, pick it up. Reach your arms to the sky, high crescent lunge. Bend into the back knee, find that alignment, that integrity through your core, and then stretch the arms overhead. Bring your left hand to your hip, cross your right elbow over and land it on the outside of your thigh. Make a fist with your right hand and press down with your top arm to now rotate and lift your upper body off of the front leg. Extend beyond through that back heel. Try not to dip through the leg here. Really lift. Look down at your front foot, frame the foot, and this time step back to plank. Lower your knees and your hips for child's pose. Breathing into your back body, opening the hips, letting the belly be gentle and soft. Maybe oscillate the head side to side, inducing that calming sensation that we want and get to benefit from this child's pose, wisdom pose. Gazing forward, slither on through onto your belly, back into your Sphinx pose with your elbows under your shoulders and the tops of your feet to the mat. This time we're going to take our right knee and slide it up in line with our right hip for half frog. Flex your right foot and make sure your leg looks like a frog leg. And then lift up, gazing forward from your forearms to feel that opening in your low back. Try to heavy your right hip to the earth. Lengthen the leg back behind you. This time take the legs a little wider. Walk your hands a little wider and see if you've got an opening to press up and lift the elbows off the earth. This is called seal pose, a little bit more advanced. If it's too much in the low back, just come right back down to your Sphinx pose. In fact, we will all meet in our Sphinx pose in the next breath cycle. And lowering the elbows back down. Let's meet in Sphinx. And this time left knee comes up in line with the hip. I'm going to go a little bit further back there. Flex through the foot and then take the gaze forward again. Try to heavy your left hip to the earth on this side. Belly button draws away from the earth, protecting your low back. And when you're ready, extend the leg back behind you, back into your Sphinx. Lower down onto your belly, sliding your hands next to your ribs. Tuck your toes. Either press to a modified plank with knees down or all the way to your high plank, meeting and back into downward facing dog, lifting the hips. Pedal out your knees, left and right. Feet together at the back of your mat. Sweep your right leg to the sky on your next inhale. And as you exhale, bring your knee to your nose and step your foot in between your hands. Ground your back heel so that there's a 90-degree arch to heel alignment. Walk your hands on the inside of your right foot, but walk up towards the upper left corner of your mat for wandering lizard. Stay really firmly planted through your back left foot. Let the crown of the head release here. Letting your upper body relax, pressing the right knee back. Now walk your hands back to your foot. Place your hands on your front knee to press yourself up, and then bring your hands to your hips. Pull your left hip back as far as it'll let you go, and now open your arms out to the horizon. Look out over your right middle finger and look down at your front knee. If it's collapsing in, press it back out and keep trying to peel that left hip open, not forcing, but peeling. Lunge a little deeper into your front knee. Get the knee to stack over the ankle. Flip the front palm, reach straight up to the sky, reversing your warrior. Backhand can find the leg or wrap around the back. We're still lunging through the front knee, trying to find equal length through both side bodies. Stay lifted. Bring your right forearm to your thigh, left arm to sweep over the ear line, turn the thumb up towards the ceiling. Roll your left ribs open, even your gaze can come up here as well. And like you're chopping your arm through air, send it back and follow it across the horizon. And now same thing, follow your fingers with your gaze. Right back across the horizon. And then back up and overhead. And last time, back up across the horizon. And this time as you come back overhead, let this pull you back up into warrior two. Flip your front palm, reverse triangle, come out of that front leg and flexion, reach all the way up and back. Keeping the legs the same, stretch your right fingers forward and then tick-tock the hand down to your hips, to your shin or to a block. If your stance is too wide, heel toe your back foot in so you can soften through your front knee and then really rotate your left ribs to the sky. Inhale here. And as you exhale, final time, bend into the front knee, windmill this arm up and around for extended side angle, go to your depth. And then exhale, frame the front foot, lift the back heel, step back to plank. Option to flow here or option to lift your hips right back up to downward facing dog. Feet together at the back of your mat. Sweep your left leg to the sky on an inhale. As you exhale, knee to nose, step the foot in between your hands. Ground your back heel 90 degrees. Walk your hands on the inside of your left foot, but all the way up towards that upper right corner of your mat. Wandering warrior. And let the crown of the head relax here. Press firmly through the pinky edge side of your right foot. And stay grounded. Stay firm through the legs. Walk your hands in towards your foot. Place the hand on the knee to press yourself up. Place the hands on the hips. Square everything off towards the right. Peel the right hip back. Open up the arms to a T. Look out over your left middle finger. Look down at your front foot. If you need to adjust, press that knee back. Your glute and quad should be working to help you open up that leg. External rotation. Flip the front palm, reach straight up to the sky. Find a placement for your back hand. Lunge a little deeper into your front knee, but stay lifted out of the waist. As you exhale, bring your forearm to your thigh and your right arm to stretch over the ear line. Thumb points towards the ceiling. As you exhale, slice the arm through the horizon, through the air. Now follow your fingertips as you reach it back overhead. Exhale, slice it. Inhale, back overhead. Stay lifted out of your left forearm. Try not to collapse there. Exhale back. Inhale, lift back overhead, and this time let this pull you back into warrior two. Flip the front palm, straighten the front leg, and reach all the way up and back for reverse triangle. Long line of energy through that left side. Keep the legs the same, reach the arms out, and then tick-tock the left hand down for Utthita Trikonasana. Option to shorten that stance by heel-toeing the right foot in. Squeeze your glutes together so your tailbone lengthens towards your back heel. Rotate your gaze to the sky. One more time as we windmill this right arm down, bend into the front knee, place the elbow on the thigh. Extended side angle, find your depth. Inhale and exhale. Bring your gaze down. Plant the palms, lift the back heel. Last flow if you want it. We're actually going to take our plank all the way down to our belly together. Prop yourself back up onto forearms. And bring your right forearm out in front. Bend into your left knee and reach back with the left hand. You can pull the heel down closer towards the glute, or if you have a rotation in your shoulder, bring your fingers up and then forward towards your shoulders to find a deeper opening there. Lean forward with your upper body and then release. Switching sides, left forearm out in front, right knee bends, and we're either grabbing the top of the foot or the ankle, or if you have that rotation, turning the fingers forward and stretching the quad. And letting go of the foot. Come onto your belly, and then roll on over to your backs. Bring your knees together and your shins parallel to the earth. Arms stretch out to a T. Send your knees over to the right. Your gaze can remain up at the sky or to the left. Supine twist. Come back through center, knees up, and then send them over to the left. Gaze can either follow the right fingers or remain up at the ceiling. Come back through center. Wrap your arms around your shins. Bring yourself into a tight ball shape. Squeeze everything in. And then lengthen your arms and legs nice and long. Final resting pose. So get comfortable here with the arms away from the body, the feet and the legs as well. Let your breath be free. Let your limbs be heavy. I will let you know when class has officially come to an end. So for now, let your body relax, restore, and rejuvenate. Deep peace to all of you. to slowly deepen your breath. Feel the rise and fall of your belly and chest. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll your wrists and ankles. Bend into elbows and into knees. If you like a full body stretch overhead, toes and fingers reach away. Or anything else you need here to reawaken. Eventually hug your knees into your chest and roll over to your right side, pausing in the fetal position. A moment to find space and gratitude for your practice, for your body. And pressing up with as little effort as you can, work your way back up into an easy seat. Bring your hands together at your heart. Slowly soften the gaze or close the eyes. Press your palms towards one another, fan out nice and wide here, broadening across your chest. Bow your head towards your prayer hands, taking in any new wisdom or awareness that you can weave into your daily lives. Come back to inside and thinking of feelings of joy or love or compassion or whatever it is that you desire. Thank you for sharing your practice and energy and breath with me today. May peace, may love, may light be felt within each and every one of you. Bless you and everyone you meet. Namaste. Thank you, yogis, for sharing your practice with me. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feedback, that kind of stuff, leave it in the comment section. And until I see you next time, namaste.